Welcome back to the video, boys. So the handheld market remains one of the most vital pieces of gaming culture and provides hundreds of millions the joy of gaming on the go. Many handheld consoles have begun offering console quality titles on the go, and none like the PlayStation Vita, which very likely remains one of the greatest gaming experiences ever. But a new competitor has arose recently, flashing some great specs and a library of titles that would just make anybody shed a tear. But can the JXD stand up against the power and ferocity that the PS Vita brings to the table? We'll figure out right here, and let us know what you think. Who wins the console war in the comments below. So let's start off with the system itself, where the PlayStation Vita might just one-up the JXD, boasting 2 analog sticks, 2 touchscreens, gyroscope, and OLED screen, front and rear-facing cameras. The PlayStation Vita has enough amazing features built in to allow for some of the greatest and most unique titles ever. There's no doubt that this system was built to include everything and absolutely amaze audiences. Now, whether the features have been used to the best of their abilities is a conversation for another day. For now, we sit in awe at how perfectly built the PlayStation Vita is. It perfectly fits in your hands and leaves little to be desired. Furthermore, the system just looks so sleek and beautiful. However, none of this is to say that the PS Vita system itself has no flaws, because believe me, they do exist. The forced use of proprietary memory cards and the addition of added features that were never even put to use are sure turnoffs for the system. Nobody wants to dish out $80 on a semi-decent memory card when Sony could have easily added the use of SD memory, allowing for a much cheaper option. In return, fans very likely could have put more money into games and built the economy of the system, but perhaps that's not the point at all. Other than these few issues, the PlayStation Vita in its purest form is just one amazing handheld system, and arguably the best on the market despite what sales may say. The JXD button setup is awfully similar to that of the PlayStation Vita in its most basic form. 2 analog sticks, a touchscreen, a D-pad, and it actually adds an L2 and R2 button on the top of the system. Furthermore, the JXD takes on the size of a tablet rather than that of a pure handheld, making it slightly less ergonomic and kind of annoying to use. Now, this isn't to say that the learning curve isn't quickly overcome over some time, but initially getting used to the controls can really make you almost feel hatred for the system. Other than the uncomfortable control setup, however, the JXD is actually a nice device that boasts features that perhaps it doesn't need but are still very welcome here. For example, the system brings a 7-inch display, a quad-core CPU, a 3-axis gravity sensor, HDMI display, and 3G capability. They really packed it all in there, and there's no denying that it's really appreciated. Furthermore, all of it works as advertised, which by the way is very well. Finally, the system does right where the PS Vita goes wrong. It actually allows the use of SD memory, and I wonder how hard that was to do. So let's see what each system does right, shall we? The PS Vita boasts an ergonomic design, a sleek feel, 2 analog sticks, and an OLED that brings the game to life. Meanwhile, the JXD adds some very useful R2 and L2 buttons, a 7-inch display, a quad-core CPU, and let's not forget a very common sense feature of cheaper memory cards. Now, let's check out what may be the most important thing to anyone buying a system. Actually, scratch that. What is the most important thing to anyone buying a system? Let's check out the system's library. A system's title are the life and blood of a console, and the PlayStation Vita, despite popular belief, boasts one of the nicest libraries that any true gamer has ever seen. With huge console quality blockbusters like Borderlands 2 and Killzone Mercenary, mixed up with gorgeous and lovely indies like Guacamelee and Stick It to the Man, the PlayStation Vita has something for everyone and leaves no rocks unturned. Now, it's no lie that the PlayStation Vita isn't bursting at the seams with content. In fact, fans are lucky to see more than 3 or 4 good AAA titles a year. This issue has been raging for a while now, and fans are becoming increasingly annoyed with Sony and third-party teams. Despite this though, indies still continue to flood the PlayStation Vita, and the backlog of titles from early in the life cycle is huge to say the least. Ultimately, the PlayStation Vita with PSP and PS1 classics includes well over 500 games and hosts exclusives that take the market by storm, featuring some of the greatest gameplay ever seen, including Persona 4 Golden, Gravity Rush, and Freedom Wars. The JXD boasts a slightly larger library with well over 100,000 compatible Android titles. This means those huge GameLoft releases that you wanted to play so bad but just couldn't because of the lack of buttons, well, now they are all playable in a whole new way. In fact, you can play huge mobile games and experience them in such a new way that they almost feel as if they're huge console quality titles. And in some cases they actually are. They just were waiting on a device like the JXD to arrive and bring them up to the likes of massive AAA big boys. So yeah, the JXD has over 100,000 Android titles, but it doesn't just stop there. The system also has an emulator store built right in and featured right on the home page. The emulator store literally has almost every single PSP, Nintendo DS, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, Neo Geo, and Game Boy Advance title on it. Oh, and did I mention that each title is 100% free? Yeah, free. Basically, once you pay for the JXD, you never have to buy any titles for it ever again if you don't want to. In fact, the system also comes pre-installed with some of mobile's biggest titles. The JXD certainly doesn't lack in the games department, and I think we can all agree on this. So who does what right with regards to the library? Well, the PlayStation Vita has great original indies, huge AAA titles, and some of the best exclusive we've seen in a long time. The JXD has over 100,000 titles, a huge library of free emulated games, and comes with some great free titles just to start you off. Finally, the features included on a system are oftentimes second thought, but we all know that nobody wants to buy a system that only plays games anymore. The device needs to do it all, and both of these basically do. The PS Vita is all about being interactive and social, and it pulls it off flawlessly. Friending people on PSN is easier than ever, and now the friend limit has risen above 100 finally, making it even better. Jumping into a quick game with your buddy is so simple and easy on this system. It's hard to not truly appreciate the true progress made since the PSP era. Furthermore, the system boasts some great apps as well as some not so great apps. You can watch Crackle for free and of course watch Netflix, and you can also jump in the Toro's Friend Network app and find friends to play with that you have never been able to do before. The not so good though include the awful attempt of Nintendo Pass that is Nier, and I can almost guarantee you that not even the people who developed Nier understand how it works at all. Furthermore, the system also recently lost its YouTube app and maps, and finally the browser just isn't reliable at all. It's a great thing the PS Vita boasts some great titles because it truly does lack the extra features that most fans are searching for. The JXD, however, has it all, and this is because not only do you have the original apps included on the device, but you also have the entire Google Play Store at your disposal as well. The system of course comes included with YouTube, Google Chrome, a great camera, HDMI recording, and once again, the massive market of free emulators and titles. The features here build up and are quite amazing. Nothing outside what one would usually expect, but amazing nonetheless. So who's got it right here? Well, the PS Vita is interactive and social, and boasts some great exclusive apps. The JXD has a plethora of apps to choose from, free emulators, and the power of Google Chrome to back it all up. So that wraps it up, you handheld gamers. We are going to announce a winner, but now that just seems kind of stupid. So instead, you have been presented with the facts. Make your decision. Leave a comment below who you think won and what video you want to see next. We're going to start doing video on demand, so give us some ideas of what you want. And finally, make sure to hit that subscribe button to be entered in our weekly game giveaways, which gets announced at our 1UP unboxing coming up soon. Until next time, guys, Vita Boys out.
Yeah, we're the Vita Boys here for you. Check back every week and stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe today to be notified. Stay up to date. We are covering everything PS Vita. Weekly game giveaways, come see us. Gameplays, unboxing, reviews, and more. With a lot coming and more in store. We're the Vita boys and we're here for you. Check back every week and stay tuned.